do me a favor, back up on your feet for me, would you? I would like to introduce to you Scott Wiltamuth, who's a VP of Developer and Management Tools from Amazon's Web Services. A big round of applause for Scott.
Thank you. I love this idea of starting with a standing ovation. It makes me feel so much more comfortable being here with all of you. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes, then we're going to have a customer who's using our new AWS Opsworks for Chef Automate service come up and join us as well. Just as a brief introduction, I manage AWS's developer and management tools. And I really think about my job as working on these two big problems that are related. The first is to help dev and DevOps teams move faster as they move to the cloud. And that's one of the key cloud computing benefits that we seek, is increased speed and agility, which is on the slide. So we want to help dev and DevOps teams move faster. And the other challenge I'm working on more on the management tools side is to help customers have better control over their resources in the cloud than they ever had in their on-premises environment. Not to be as good or to kind of implement the same process, but to be better. And to do tackle those two problems without accepting trade-offs between them. In the previous era, in that on-premises era, we saw a lot of these controls implemented as checklists via ticketing systems and things, and that's where you get these crazy stories about it taking 6 months or 4 months to get a server in a data center. So we don't really do both of those. So help dev and DevOps teams move faster and have greater control and don't accept the trade-off between them. When we talk to our enterprise customers and customers who've been using the cloud who are a little further along in their journey, most of them talk about the biggest benefit they've gotten from the cloud is that increased speed and agility. Like, yes, it's great to have a discount on the hardware and take advantage of the economies of scale and not have to have teams who are managing data center infrastructure. Those are all great benefits. But there's really no benefit that's more powerful than being able to move faster and innovate faster. And in a lot of cases, as Barry was talking about in his portion of the keynote, to move faster and be one of these digital companies who's helping to reinvent the industry. And that could be coming from the outside and doing a reinvention of an industry, such as Netflix has done, or it could be an established company moving faster than all of their competitors and kind of fending off those attackers in the case of companies like Capital One, General Electric, and Alaska Airlines, as have been talked about in this keynote. So there's really no way to get these benefits of increased speed and agility without doing the things that we're talking about today, kind of these themes of DevOps and transformation and kind of the cultural changes that come with that. And there's no way to make the cultural changes without tools. So we've had a partnership between Amazon Web Services and Chef for many years. But a few years ago, about 2 years ago, Barry and the executive team and AWS were talking, and we were looking at the opportunity in this space and saying, wow, like, we've done so much together, but what would it take to take this to the next level? What would it take to deliver something new that would allow our joint customers in this area to move faster? And the result of that partnership is Opsworks for Chef Automate. So this is a new product. What we've really done is try to combine the best of Chef with the best of AWS and deliver a managed service, a fully managed service with the Chef Automate software that's 100% compatible with Chef Automate and 100% compatible with Chef community content. So with this service, we can take some of the undifferentiated heavy lifting off of you so you can do more to focus on the DevOps transformation that you're doing and really have like a one-click easy access to Chef Automate in the cloud. Now, since we're running exactly the Chef Automate software that's been talked about today, and we just saw an extensive demo, you can use all your favorite tools like Knife and Test Kitchen, as well as all the community content that the Chef community has produced. And that's just a tremendous benefit. So a couple notes about the product. So we launched it in late November last year. It's running in 3 AWS regions. So for AWS people, like I've listed them there, but that's Virginia, Oregon, and Dublin are the 3 initial regions, and we do plan to expand to more regions. We have a simple pay-as-you-go pricing model. So you pay for the EC2 instance that's running the Chef Automate software. at normal AWS rates, and then you pay a per node hour pricing, and that's this very simple pay-as-you-go pricing. And the pricing is so low, it's actually kind of funny. So it's less than 1.5 cents per node hour to manage a Chef node. And I was thinking about something to put this in context, and my kids really like the Saturday Night Live skits with, kind of through the presidential campaign and then since. And one of their favorite lines is Bernie Sanders' "Don't poo-poo the vacuum pennies." Like that was his main fundraising thing. So I was trying to put this in perspective. So I took the price of the latte that I bought yesterday, right before our rehearsal for this, and then I did a calculation. So I figured out that in my 8-hour workday, I could spin up a test cluster, and I could manage 40 nodes for my entire 8-hour workday for less than the price of that latte. So that's really kind of unheard of. So you don't have to talk to any salespeople. If you already have an AWS account, you don't even have to get out your credit card. We'll happily charge the pennies to your credit card as it is today. And you can get going and you can experiment. We think this is really going to be groundbreaking in encouraging experimentation, discovering new use cases. What we've generally seen in technology is when things get so expensive, you actually see new use cases emerging and new experimentation. So that ability to spin up a cluster, run it for a while, do an experiment, and then spin it down, and to have spent pennies or a couple dollars on the order of a latte is pretty groundbreaking. The other thing that I think we'll see, which the customer that we're going to have come up in a minute talk about, is I think we're going to see more highly distributed use of Chef servers. So it used to be that enterprises would try to do a lot of this centrally, so you'd see a central operations team or infrastructure team who is running a very small number of Chef servers, kind of in an enterprise-wide model. And I think that model will continue, but I think we'll see more and more of this distributed model where you see lots of small Chef servers throughout the enterprise, maybe at a business group level or an app team level, running their own Chef servers so they can kind of control their own destiny and kind of take care of that. And we've kind of done two things that will help with that use case. One is being incredibly low cost, as I'm describing, and the other is to standardize the configuration. So one of the other benefits of using Opsworks or Chef Automate is that we take care of configuring the Chef Automate server in exactly the right way and in a standard way, so there really are some guardrails for folks to do this. Now, if the pennies aren't cheap enough for you, we also have a free tier. So for 12 months, you can run 7,500 node hours per month, so that's the equivalent of running 10 nodes 24 by 7. So it's really very cheap to experiment with, and then we've really made it effectively free to experiment. So I encourage people this week, hey, if you have an AWS account already, why not take it for a spin? Why not give it a try? We made the cost of experimenting with it literally zero in that free tier 12 months. So I'm going to show a few screenshots. These are screenshots from the AWS Management Console, and with the Chef Automate product, we also, of course, provide access to the Chef Automate console, so you have all the familiar tools that you have. I'm going to show a couple of things. One is just how easy it is to get set up. It's literally just a few clicks. So this is, again, a screenshot of the AWS Management Console. I can just choose a server name, choose a region to run it in, and then choose an EC2 instance type. So I have a selection of instance types, and we provide recommendations for how many nodes you're likely to want to manage based on the size of that EC2 instance for the server. And these are really just recommendations, so there are no limits. We know that your mileage may vary because of how you're using Chef Automate. So these are really just guidelines to help guide that initial choice. So I just pick, and I click, and then I'm up and running my Chef Automate server. Now, we've gone further than that in providing a managed service. Some of the things we wanted to do is to take care of you who spend so much time automating automating other people's things or automating your team's things, is to take care of some of these things for managing the Chef server automatically. So we handle updates automatically. So this is as simple as setting a maintenance window. So you can set a maintenance window, and then if Chef releases a security update or a minor update that has bug fixes, we'll take care of applying that so you can have an always up-to-date Chef server. Similarly, we want to automatically take care of backups as well. So we know that you spend a lot of time taking care of backups for other things you're doing. We thought it'd be great if we just take that off your hands. So again, you can just set a maintenance window, and we will take care of making sure there's an up-to-date copy of that backup on a regular basis. And you can choose at any time to restore or move to another server. So if you wanted to upgrade the EC2 instance type because you find you're managing 1,000 nodes, whereas you started out managing 100, that's a very simple operation. Or in the rare event where there's hardware failure or an unhealthy EC2 instance, you can take that backup and easily spin up another EC2 instance to run the software. So we have 2 sessions covering Opsworks for Chef Automate here at the conference. So one is this afternoon, and the other is tomorrow. So if you just in your mobile app search for Opsworks, you'll find the sessions. And we'll also have team members who are available in the lounge downstairs on level 2. And just look for opportunities to connect with us. Finally, I just wanted to call out some of the enterprise and other customers that we have as reference customers for Opsworks. Opsworks has been a really successful product for us, has really helped a lot of customers and automated as they've been moving to the cloud. We see a lot of customers as their enterprise customers as they're shifting workloads from on-premises to the cloud, of doing more to standardize how they're doing. So it might be that Chef had been a 10% use case for their on-premises world, but then as they're shifting to the cloud, they say, hey, while we're moving things from on-premises to the cloud, let's get into a cleaner state and let's standardize. So we have some really good examples here in enterprise customers like British Gas, Globe and Mail, Toronto Star, education-focused companies like Blackboard, and then we see also in the startup world folks who are automating from the very beginning. So companies like game companies like Gumi and Wooga, who are operating from the beginning, knowing that they're going to be running at massive scale and saying from the very beginning, we know that to survive in this world and to have the economics that we need in like mobile gaming environment, which is very competitive, we're going to have to automate the heck out of everything and have a very small operations staff to run that.